know that we communicated with Melvin for weeks prior to this and talked to him that morning. He didn't help him get the car. He didn't help him escape. He didn't tell him what to do. He didn't tell him where to go. He didn't do anything. It was a spontaneous issue between two young men that morning. They shouted, and you know why they don't play? Because they just start calling random people after the shooting. They don't follow.
Sometimes just without
they have to go
objection. Medical shit.
As far as that goes. The people that have them never been charged with exceptions.
Yeah, it is so bad.
They left the car across the street and going out from the middle of the street in front of the street. So there's a master plan that maybe one of the dumbest plans you could possibly have if you're going to kill the most important person.
And now it's right there, bad though.
As far as that goes. But
and the dirt law.
I'm talking about all that.
It's go-van law. They trying to put this shit on go-van. They trying to put this shit on go-van.
He actually carjacked people, like you say, and then gave it to the government.
And you could spoke about his money. You didn't want to.
But he had to pick up another murder right after this happened, so now he's in custody for the other murder. Perhaps making first impressions you might want to know. I thought about going over at least one of the forecasts. Statements in their life. I think it's just a little too much. We would be here for about 2 hours going through everything that he said has been inconsistent. In fact, you know how somebody's lying? Because
Gee, why not?
32 times he told the police. Trust me, I promise, I swear to God, I wouldn't lie to you. 32 times he says that before answering his questions along his first interviews after he's caught. And after he's caught, his girlfriend gets questioned because they ran down the license plate numbers and all that stuff with the cars. She has to repeat on December 14th of 2021, it's not on after about nothing. Because Cornelius and Park are going to make a false alibi. See, where's the plan in all this? See, if I have a plan to go kill somebody, we have a place to go get something far away. I have people that can cover for me that I don't make random
shoes at.
And so Angela knew nothing about this.
What trick? I keep getting them back.
Picked them up at the location where the individual from the shop. Drives around town.
Put shoes out.
Before she's not true. She usually lies and denies everything.
Going in the door with no shoes.
The truth. And so on the 17th of December, 3 days later, but what the police don't know at that time is Mr. Cornelius made this call 4 other family members to reach out to Angela to get the story straight. Because he keeps saying, get a phone call, find out what she said, find out what she said, find out what she said. And then on the 17th, it comes back, and they're talking to her. And she says, well, we went over to that house sometime past, just like we talked about. She doesn't know anybody. She said, I can't think of his name. And the interesting part is, the officer said, is it somebody?
Put your shoes on, boy.
And then she says, oh yeah, it's quick. Remember?
Everybody get your feet cut.
Bobby Carter always grabbed out and their friends. And the other thing Andrew Smith says is, no man brought us the phone after the fact. How is that part of any claim or anything else? And they called to give me a phone. The interesting thing about it is truly there will be fingerprints in the police fingerprint, DNA, and everything. Usually fingerprints are there. Trina's fingerprints are there. Jason Barnard, the other guys that work with trains, the other guys, his fingerprints are there. There's DNA in there. There's blood in there. There's nothing in regards to go there.
I'll bet you the kid was the choke.
There's nothing to do with it. He didn't touch it. So if he didn't do that, how did he open the door? And frankly, how did he get the keys to open the door? See, Cornelius doesn't give you the details. Did they lock the car after you left? Where were the keys?
Go ahead on, girl.
Tell me how this girlfriend got into the car and how he did it so beautifully.
Where your shoes at?
Nah,
What?
No. Across the street.
I can't even look what she say.
Prince DNA hair, anything out of the car. You know what that is? He didn't do it. What you're gonna hear from Trey Ingram, when he stole the car, left his backpack, his wallet, his motor vehicle. And he just in Johnson.
I'm gonna go beating that ass on that ass. Get on out of here.
This is why I talk about first impressions, because they always could be misleading, in this case, happily false. When you cherry pick the evidence that you want to help, and then have a camera going on a high profile case, you pressure you to commit the verdict of your case. Pat manager. And just because he's a nobody and doesn't have money like Bobby or his brother, who never even questioned the charge, he's a whole night of homelessness. He didn't do anything. He didn't even believe Cornelius. All he says is, I just happened to show up there and he said, hey, this is a little sick. Joe took over and started doing all the talking. Do you think that man could basically $100,000 and you'd say, yeah, he's good for it. I don't need any validation. He's good for it. And interestingly enough, Cornelius' story also changed in Los Angeles. Because initially, we were supposed to be paid $1.5 million. And after another interview, it became $1 million. Then it became $500,000. Then it became $100,000. Then it became, we're going to split $100,000 between me and Justin Johnson. Then it became somebody gave me $50,000 in ground paper back. Then it became one on a long run. After I was arrested, somebody gave my lawyer $38,000 in a bag to represent me. That's how many times the story is shifted, as far as that goes. The one thing that he does say is after I got the money from Mr. Joseph, it was understood that he was on that team. Again, he was never arrested, never talked to, even though he says that's where the money's coming from. That guy doesn't have $1 million or $100,000 or anything like that. I made walk around wearing fancy ties. He's in this gentleman. I'm here to help him because people that are labeled as nobodies, I will not tolerate this. He needs to be thoughtful. He is your peer. You need to do this right. Mr. Goldman, stand up. Okay, Mr. Goldman matters. You can't do this to people just for political gain because you gotta solve a crime because somebody famous died. It's just wrong. You can sit down. We can't have a society like this where we base convictions on assault rifle people. Opening up fire for somebody. Remember I told you you couldn't remember in that meeting, that random meeting? The next thing we could do is remember that the meeting was something between we kind of shoot group. That's the best you could do as far as that goes. And so you have to believe this meeting happened. For 3 months nothing goes on, and one day it just happens. Remember I asked you about pork chops and chicken and all that kind of stuff? If you're going to do something, you're going to give a plan and change it. If you believe in that, he didn't have any plan. He had a plan, you have a place to go. You have a place to hide out. None of that happens. None of that happens. And Mr. Cornelius Smith is going to get up here and tell you, I want to bury my soul, I want to come clean, I want to do all this other stuff. You know, I call BS on that part because when we tell you that, he doesn't talk to you before. He wants to bury his soul. He wants to make amends. And ask yourself, why for 4 years didn't you stay in building free and take his life sentence and start making amends? He still hasn't put it. His lawyers and negotiations with the government. There's hope, no deal. But we do good things out of our heart when we're caught red-handed murdering somebody. Because we don't want any benefit by coming on the stage and telling you whatever you guys want to hear. 6 times with interviews, 6 potentially more times with the government, more than you. The truth doesn't change. You don't have to remember it, you don't have to practice it, you don't have to rehearse it. It is what it is. And this is not the truth. I think I mentioned it in jury selection, but responsibility for your actions goes both ways. There's going to be a lot of lacking in this case. For example, you hear about a lot of cell phone hunters who get called too, but the full-on analysis was rather, well, I'll just leave that for the experts. It's all coming down to Cornelius and possibly where somebody's phone might have been. You don't know what they said, if they even talked, or if as a friend you're calling somebody after a shooting because everybody starts calling everybody minutes after this, the social media blew up after this. You all know it, you all heard it. Everybody knew. Logan, disappeared, he deserves better, we shouldn't be here. High profile TV cameras or not. Sympathy for a young man whose position, whatever it was, nobody deserves to die. But you don't compound the problem by blaming innocent people for it. And even if you don't want to believe he's innocent, you want to make Cornelius, they sure as heck didn't prove the case. The other reason to talk to you guys about that was the it's either guilty or they didn't prove it. So I'm asking you to at least admit when say he didn't prove it and not 3 or 4 days from now. Thank you.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Could you state and spell your name for the record, please? Erica Thornton, Thornton. And do you know an individual by the name of Adolph Gordon Jr.? Yes. How do you know him? My brother. If you were to see a picture of Mr. Gordon, could you recognize him? Of course. Pardon me, I have personal. Miss Gordon, is that photo okay? Yes. Your Honor, we ask that this photo be entered as the next number exhibit in the evidence.
Okay. This is a photo of you already. Right. Right there we have it, and identify, you know.
Thank you, Your Honor. And may I have permission to publish the jury?